Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Estancia Lapacho, and also, word of warning, my voice is still pretty grim, as you can probably tell. Main reason is because this is Friday for me, not Monday, because of how I do my recording in a week. Most of you already know that I record this first episode a fair bit in advance, so that I do have a little bit of time at the weekend to spend with my family. What it means this week is that this video in particular is going to be very croaky, as will the other one that I've done for today. Hopefully by the time I get to recording tomorrow's episodes, things will have improved a little bit. Anyway, on with the show. So first of all, we need to do the weekly random event. And, no, I don't want to be pressing F1. F1 is the map for Mudrunner. As you can guess, I've not long finished recording an episode on Mudrunner. I get so confused, there are so many different buttons and controls from so many different games. Anyway, I rolled on my list. You can see the list on Facebook. It is actually a little ways down the page now. There is a, I do have a website in the works. It is in the works. I'm hoping that we get it done fairly soon, so that I will then be able to put this list and my upload schedule and stuff like that. It'll just be frithgar.com. You can go and have a look, and it's just really easy to find. You don't have to scroll through Facebook stuff. You don't have to sign up. I know there's quite a lot of people don't like Facebook anyway, so on and so forth. So that's in the future. Right now, though, I rolled a 2 for the first one, which is crops. You got crops, animals, or machinery. I rolled a 2 with my throw of my dice, so we had crops, and the second throw was a 4. That one is disease in field. Cultivate 1/2 of a random field that's planted with crops to represent the loss. Yeah, we only just finished cultivating another field of stuff because the cows got into it, so we lost that half of the field, and now we've lost another half of the field. These random events don't seem to be doing us very well. So I kind of figured, well, you know, I know that there is a little bit of cost involved with the seed for planting that half, but if that one there came up, we would just stop planting and we wouldn't plant anymore. We'd just leave that field as it is. As for the rest of it, I figured, well, we'll just carry on and do it. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's kind of cheating a bit, because we are supposed to actually spend the time, the effort, the money to plant the field and fertilize it and so on, and then we don't get that benefit. Well, let's see, I'm not quite sure, but anyway, we've got 9 fields planted by my count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, I'm including the sugarcane field. If the sugarcane field is the one that comes up, we will be ploughing in the rest of the sugarcane. This half, even though we've only just literally finished replanting this half after the last disaster. So this is what I'm numbering them. I've got a random number generator on my tablet at the moment that is set from minimum 1, maximum 9, and I will press generate in just a moment. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's going to go in that cycle there. So I'm going to press the button right now and, oh, hang on, generate 4. Right, so which one is that? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. The biggest field that we've got. I mean, at least we don't have to do the sugarcane, which would be quite disheartening, I suppose. But yeah, the biggest field that we've got is field 7. And that's the one. And that's also, it's nearly ready to harvest. It was so close. So close. We got to cultivate half of that field. That has to be done. That's what we got to do today. So that is our very first task, is we are going to sacrifice half of that field. It's not that one. You can now carry on. You can go on and do what you're doing. So we'll let that one carry on there. He's planting wheat at the moment. And we go through there and through you. You know what? Oh, no, he's here. There he is. He's just finished doing field 1. So we need to take this one, and he's got to go whizzing up the road. We'll go this way. We'll stick to the road. So we've got disease in the field, and we have to cultivate in half the field to represent the loss. And, I mean, I do think that cultivating up half of a field that is particularly badly diseased isn't unrealistic anyway, because if you've got like half the field is still pretty good and half the field is diseased, then you're not going to want to combine in the half that is diseased, because it's going to bring down the overall quality of the harvest that you get. So you wouldn't want that diseased half to come into it. I mean, I don't know that would happen very often. It would be, I would guess, a fairly rare occurrence, but I think it could still happen. So we need to try and find a halfway point, and I'm just going to set the tractor going, and then it can turn whichever way it wants to in order to finish this off. So is that about halfway, do you think? I'm sort of looking. That does seem to be roughly halfway, so I'm going to press H and let him go in there, and There he goes. Yet again, our tractor is busy cultivating in our crops. This is heartbreaking. We're gonna end up doing this nearly every week, aren't we? We're gonna cultivate in half a field. I mean, I don't have very many that actually involve me cultivating in a field. I think I've literally got 2 options that ultimately result in me having to cultivate in half a field of crop, and we've had both of them. I've got 18 different results that we can have, and only 2 of them are cultivate half a field. That's just insane. Because like, if we'd rolled a 5, it would have been disease in the field. The next crop to be planted can use no fertilizer of any kind to represent the loss. But anyway, that one's going to carry on there. What's done is done. So, next point of the day. Did you want me to paint the pickup to match this trailer over here? Now, obviously, we can't go and paint the pickup if it's covered in mud. So, we're going to clean it off first, and then we can take a look. And the results, I had 1,245 people answer this question, which, I've got to be honest, is a lot more than I thought. I figured, you know, with Christmas and that, we wouldn't get very many answers at all. But well over 1,000 people have answered this question across the Christmas break, which it did surprise me a bit. I didn't think we would have that many. So we had 221 people said, no, leave it as it is, and 1,024 people said, yes, do paint it. I did get a few requests, though, not to do the wheels yellow. A lot of people seem to dislike the idea of the yellow hubs. You know, the red seemed to be okay. A few people wanted me to paint the trailer the same colour as the pickup and have a slightly more dull colour rather than that bright red that we've got going on. And several people said that they would prefer the hubs to be white rather than yellow. I think it's because it matches in with the Massey Ferguson colouring. And I can understand that. However, I can't really go and change it at this late hour because the question was red and yellow. And people may well have voted differently if I'd said red and yellow. I mean, thinking about it, I do like the idea of doing white. So maybe later on in the series, I'll change the hubs on both vehicles to white just to represent that, that request. At the moment, though, that's not going to happen. We are going to do it exactly what people have said. So we're going to go to customize, we're going to go to main color. It's got to be the brightest red that we can get, and yellow is that yellow right there, and customize. And I'm saying customize because I used to work in a factory that made custard. Some of you who don't live in the UK won't know what custard is. It's kind of a vanilla flavored pudding. It's a unique type of vanilla flavored pudding. It's not vanilla pudding that you know it in the States. It's different to that. Traditionally, you would have custard served hot over apple pie or something similar. So I used to work in a factory that made custard, and so my youngest son would talk about customizing something in a game, and he would always say customize. He always get a bit confused between that and the custard, and so yeah, he would customize his items or whatever he was going to do. Is, look, Daddy, look, I'm customizing it. I've customized it. It was brilliant. So yeah, we have now customized our truck, and we have got a beautiful yellow and red. I actually quite like this. I do quite like. I can understand the preference for the white wheels, for the white rims, and yes, I can definitely understand that. However, I don't think this is out of place. I think that matches quite nicely. I mean, maybe it would be better if we could have a bigger truck. Because I do think that this truck is going to struggle to pull, considering I've got 3,500 litres of fuel, which is 3.5 tons. Okay, it is a kilo litre for liquid. Well, for fuel is about the same. I think actually fuel is slightly heavier than water. So we've got is well over 3.5, it's probably close to 4 tons with the trailer and everything as well. We're looking at 4 tons of weight being pulled by this tiny, tiny little pickup. I don't really think that this pickup would actually be man enough to do the job. I think it's really going to be struggling. I mean, if it was doing it, I think the smoke coming out of the exhaust pipe, where is the exhaust pipe? Over that side. I don't think it would be kind of clear like that. Actually, he's got twin exhausts. He's got twin exhausts. I didn't notice that. You can see it is belching a little bit black there. If you can just sort of make it out. I don't know if you can make it out on your screen now. I know that YouTube does sort of lower quality in that, but you can just kind of make it out there a bit. The kind of black, but I honestly think that if this was real, that black would be considerably more black than it is right now. I think it would be really grunting. Anyway, we've done it. It's finished. So we've done that bit. We've dealt with that. So we're going to move on now, and we're going to go back to here. Now, we've not got very much left to do in this field. We've just got a little bit more. So I wanted to finish this on this episode today, just because I was quite enjoying doing this, and we can get this finished and we'll go. So this actually brings me to my weekly question, because we're not going to start planting this field today. And I did ask this sort of, you know, about people's preferences and that, and I've had a few different answers. So I thought I would actually do this as this week's weekly question. Now, we have carefully gone round and we've made the line square on the edge of this field. So we've got this nice square lines. This is beautifully squared up all the way round. But obviously, that's not how you would have it in real life. If you were doing this in real life, you wouldn't keep it square. You would sort of run close to the road's edge all the way along here. Maybe away from the road a little bit, because we're close to the house on this front bit, so you could keep it away from the road there. And, you know, maybe push it up a little bit here. But again, you wouldn't necessarily get really tight to that road either, because that's a main road going through. But what do you think? Do you want me to keep this field as it is and just fill in this piece and then start cultivating and everything? Or would you rather I went round again with a plough and I gave it a more natural edge, a curved natural edge all the way around this big field? I won't do it to the others, just this one here. But it's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. Do you want a curved natural edge on this field, or do you want me to leave it square as it is? Right, now lower that one down and activate the allow create fields. And this should be the last pass up across this little bit down through here, and then all we've got is to join the two pieces together. As soon as the cultivator is finished cultivating in our diseased field, you know, the rate we're going with cultivating in half fields here and half fields there, I think it's going to be an absolute miracle if we actually have anything to harvest at the end of this. Although I have heard it said before that farmers are gambling men. Or gambling people, I should say gambling people, not necessarily men. Because it is always such a gamble. Every year is just such a complete gamble. You put everything you've got into seed and time, machinery, everything else, and all your hopes are pinned on that harvest. And some years that harvest might fail you completely, and then you've lost out. And that's kind of what farming is about. Farming is basically gambling on a pretty epic scale, to be fair. And so I think that with the random events list that we've got, we are sort of finding out a lot more just how much of a gamble farming can be. I mean, last week, it wasn't last week that we ploughed it in, was it? It was the week before. Last week, our animals, we had a lot of twins from the cows. A lot of the cows produced twins, which meant that we increased the total stock that we had by 10%. That was a huge jump up. That was like a real bonus, that is. We really cashed in that week. So we had a load of extra cows produced, which is, you know, in turn producing more milk, and it's just brilliant. So yeah, that week we did really well. However, it does seem to be that quite often we're not doing very well on this at the moment, but that, in my experience, is farming in general. You're very, very often you will have some serious bad luck when it comes to farming. So I'm going to bring that one in around there like that, and we can start on this next line up across. Lower that one in there. I am getting increasingly croaky, so this video this week is, well, today at least, is going to be fairly short because of just how bad my throat is. I would like it to be able to heal up. So, yeah, obviously I've finished today. I don't actually start recording again until Monday, to be able to do... Today is Friday, so just so that I can sort of clarify. I know I said that already this episode. Today is Friday. I'm recording Monday's episode so that I've got it all done. It allows me to work properly through the week and make good use of my time, and allows me to spend time with my family at the weekend. Sunday, just Sunday. I only ever get Sunday off. I don't get any more than that. And even then, it's usually only half the day on Sunday. So, yeah, I'm recording this ahead of time, so hopefully by the time I get round to recording tomorrow's episode, my voice will have drastically improved and I will actually be able to talk properly, and yeah, it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. There won't be any more problems, we won't have anything go wrong. It's just going to be awesome. Yeah. Yeah, right, like that's going to happen. We just bring that back round there a bit, and we'll lower in. If we don't finish this today, I will finish it before next week's episode anyway. Not next week's, tomorrow's episode. Yeah, if we don't finish doing this little bit of ploughing, then we will. I really do love, this is the bit that I genuinely love. I'm never going to grow tired of this, is those bits disappearing. And I'm really hoping, well, I would be gobsmacked if this isn't sort of incorporated into the next version of the game, but on a different scale, because obviously they're not going to do everything in South America, so they'll have all kinds of different textures for the new maps that they'll be making. I think maybe they'll do what they did last time, they'll only produce one new map and they'll have an existing one. I think what they did last time, how did they work it? They had Westbridge Hills came out for FS13, didn't it? And then they used it again in FS15. Or did they? I think they did. Yeah, because it released with Westbridge Hills, didn't it? You had Bjornholm and you had Westbridge Hills. Because I never actually played Westbridge Hills. I didn't play it at all. For some reason it just didn't appeal to me. I really like Bjornholm as well. Then in this one you had partway through the other one, partway through FS15, they released the gold version, or whatever it was in that one, and they released the Sosnovka map to go with it. And then this game released with... So yeah, Westbridge Hills, that came out in FS13, but they released that one partway through, didn't they? Because they had, in FS13, they had Hagenstead. Is it Hagenstead or Hagenstad? I can't remember now. And they released Westbridge Hills partway through. Then they put Westbridge Hills along with Bjornholm at the start of FS15, and then they released Sosnovka partway through FS15, and they added in the other one as and is that how they did it? I think that's how they did it. And so then this one, they released the game with Goldcrest Valley and also Sosnovka. So going by that, there will be a new map. There will be one new map for FS19. And then this one that we're on right now, here in Estancia Lapacho, not Estancia Lapacho, this one will be released also at the start of FS19. And then partway through FS19, they'll release another new, like the big expansion of Platinum, the Gold, whatever they're going to call it. And that one will have another new map. So that's kind of how I think they're working it. So we can at least expect to see one new map. So we'll see this one back with this the stuff that ploughs in, all the shrubs and everything that ploughs in, and then we'll get a new map as well that will be based somewhere in the world. There's no way of knowing where it will be. FS13 was based in Europe. FS15, that one was also based in Europe with Bjornholm. That was based in... I don't remember, was that Norway, wasn't it? Was that Norway? Finland, Norway, somewhere like that. The Hagenstead, that was, I think that was like Germany. That kind of area there. I'd say Germany. Germany's a big area. So kind of, I think it was like northwest Germany, I think was kind of where it was based. I could be wrong on that, but I believe it was a northwest German area that one was based. Sosnovka, right over in Poland in Eastern Europe. And I think it was sort of Poland, Ukraine border areas, was it? Again, I'm not really sure, but this kind of the areas that it was based. And then, so we got this one. So where the next one will be based, where the new map will be based, I really have no idea. I mean, that is like an absolute 100% complete guess for us at the moment. So get in the comment section today and let us know where you think the new one will be based. What are your thoughts? Where do you think they might base a new map? It could literally be anywhere in the world at the moment. I mean, literally anywhere in the world. Now, what did I say I was going to do? We've got wheat. You know, I honestly can't remember my plan. We've got wheat here. And I was planning to do, I think, canola in those two, wheat in that one, and so I was going to do barley there, because I'm doing corn down there. So that's the one I need to do, barley in field 6. That's what we need to do, is barley in field 6. But I need that truck to come over here and just very quickly reload me, and then I can go and get started on the barley in field 6, because yeah, in field 3 and 1 was going to be canola. Absolutely certain that was the way it was going to be. Absolutely certain. And also the sugarcane. You know, I was loading up the sugarcane and I couldn't understand where it was coming from. I thought it was coming from for free. If you reload the sugarcane, if you press R with the sugarcane with this one nearby, this will actually just reload it for you. That's great and all, but that does really feel like cheating to me. And it's a bug. It is a game bug. It shouldn't be like that. Unfortunately, it is. There's nothing that we can do about it. So we'll just have to remember that in the future when we come to reloading the sugarcane drill. That if we press R next to that one, it generates it for free from that one. It doesn't empty that one out. It just literally generates it for free out of nowhere. And that we absolutely cannot accept while we're playing this particular one, because this is supposed to be the realistic one. I don't want to plant in there. It's not the one I'm supposed to be planting in. I'm supposed to be going over here, and I'm supposed to be planting barley. So, actually, I'm just wondering, if I do straight up and down, I'm going to end up driving into that sugarcane, aren't I? So what we'll do is we'll do a couple passes over here. Let's just quickly change that over to barley, like that. And I'll do a pass or two along the bottom end, and then we can go back and start working up and down the field. So do it about there. I think that'll be about right. It'll straighten itself up, and it should be still inside the field. Yes, it's perfect. Right on the very edge. That's excellent. So let that one go up across there. It'll turn around once, and it will carry on with it. This one is busy cultivating our field. It's heartbreaking. It really is. Those beans were so close to being ripe, weren't they? I mean, literally, look at them. That looks so good, but obviously there's diseased beans in the pods. It's not good. It's not good, but there's nothing that we can do about it. We're just going to have to live with that. Let me just do another pass of the plough a minute while that tractor is busy doing its stuff up there. So I can do that, and I can start turning you over there. Spin right round like that. And come down there. We can drop that one in. I don't know if when you leave and you come back, if it stays on the allow create. It does. It's actually stayed on it. Excellent. I didn't think it would do that. So yeah, where do you think in the world the next map would be based? What is your opinion on where it would be? Do you have any particular logical reasoning out of where it might be? Is it a purely random guess? Where would you like it to be? Where would you like the map to be set? And is there any particular features you would like to see? I mean, Goldcrest was good. I mean, I like the Goldcrest map, but I preferred Bjornholm. I don't know, there was something about Bjornholm that I liked. I think it was the steep mountains and stuff. You had some really steep hills in there that you had to contend with, and I particularly liked that. You didn't get that so much in Goldcrest Valley, and it was one of the things that I didn't like as much about Goldcrest compared to Bjornholm. There was something about Bjornholm that kind of felt more sort of homey to me, I guess. But then it's kind of what I'm used to. I'm European. In the UK, a lot of our stuff is very similar to mainland Europe, so there was a lot of familiarity with it. Whereas Goldcrest is based in the States, so for me it was completely different. It was completely, what I'm not used to at all. So there was a lot of different style and stuff about Goldcrest that was very unfamiliar, and I suppose that would have played into it in part as well. So yeah, personally, I'm hoping for one actually set in the UK rather than just set like in mainland Europe. I'm hoping for either one set in the UK or because obviously UK is home to me, and not just anywhere in the UK. I would like it to be southwest UK, which is where I live. That's my home, and the fields here are a lot smaller than anywhere else. So you don't get case quad tracks riding around on the roads where I live. Okay, they just don't fit. They literally, most of the roads, they wouldn't even fit, so it wouldn't happen. So that could be quite interesting. I really should go and check on that drill. He's probably gone and done way too many now. Actually, I tell you what, 3 passes is probably all right. So we'll spin him round like this, and then we can just start him working up across the field up here. That's going to work out quite nicely, actually. We go to there, and start him up across that bit there. Right. Okay, so he's doing just fine there. I will now quickly go back down through, and we go back to our ploughing. Yeah. So what would you like to see? What do you think you might see? And like I said, UK would be good, and it is difficult, I think, getting a map that would be easy for people to play with and to accurately reflect the kind of countryside that we have around here with our very tight hedgerows and everything. I think that would actually end up just upsetting people, so maybe not that one. But the other one that I would like to see is one that is completely, totally, and utterly different from anything we have seen so far. And I mean completely different. Way, way different than anything we have seen yet. And that is somewhere based in Asia, China, Japan, anywhere like that, with rice paddies. I think that would be so cool. Add rice paddies into the game with rice harvesting equipment. I know that rice is also done in Australia and in the States, but really the home of rice production is Asia. So, I mean, it could be anywhere in India, China, Japan. They've all got different methods of farming rice. Japan tends towards some quite small-scale stuff. China, in certain places, has got some very big-scale stuff going on. And then other places, it's also got very, very small-scale stuff going on. So I'd absolutely love to see that. Where you've got to farm the rice, you've got to flood the rice paddies at the right time of year. Because, you know, they've released the Seasons mod. I'm kind of hoping that they work with the guys from Realismus Modding and add that into the base game as like either an option or some way of sort of working it into the game. I think could be really, really good. And so during the growth cycle of the rice, you've got to flood the paddies to work them, and then you drain it all out again, dry them out in order to do the harvesting of the rice. That could be really, really good. I don't know if there's any other crops that would grow in rice paddies. I don't really know, to be honest. I've not really looked into that very much. I know that farming fish in rice paddies is actually quite a common occurrence. It is something that happens quite a lot. But also, because you've got the rice paddies and you've got the water there, you could also do cranberry farming, because cranberries are grown in water. I didn't actually realise this until I watched a video of some cranberry harvesting. And I seen the whole thing's all underwater. I had no idea that cranberries grew in water. I mean, I don't really care for cranberries anyway, and you know, cranberries are not really grown very much here in the UK. I think it's more of a US thing, isn't it? But yeah, I had no idea that they were grown in water. So I mean, maybe we could do cranberries as well. You got rice and cranberries that could be done in the flooded fields. That could work. I think that could be quite interesting, really. So there's a huge sort of range there, but I gotta be honest, I don't think we're gonna see it. Certainly not this time round, at least. I don't think that is something that's gonna happen. It's a whole, like, different type of gameplay experience, that would be, and it's very different from anything else that they've got. So it would be an entirely different range of machinery, an entirely different way of actually farming the land as well. Sorry, I just had to go and cough and splutter for a minute. My voice is really just about to pack up, so I can't really do very much more. We're just going to finish doing this ploughing. You've seen me do this much so far, so we will actually just completely finish it. So my question for this week is, what would you like me to do with this field that we're currently ploughing? Would you like me to leave the edges square as they are? We went carefully round it last week and we squared off the edges. Do you want me to leave them like that? Or would you rather I went round with this plough and gave the fields a more natural edge? We could add in some curve. We could sort of like dip over to the side a little bit near the railway over there, maybe. I don't know how close we'd get to the railway, but, you know, we could go over towards it a little bit. We could, and also sort of run alongside the road a little tighter down here, and over that side as well, run close to the roads over there, and just give a natural curved edge to the field all the way round. Or would you prefer I just left it as it is? Because obviously if we leave it as it is, it's going to be easier for the hired help to do anything with it. So yeah, we can either do a natural curved edge, or we can just leave it as it is and leave it square. It's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. Now, the tractor with the cultivating should have finished by the time, well, actually it's not going to be far off of finishing. So it's cultivated in that damaged crop, the diseased crop. We'll then be able to put it going in this field. I'm going to put it going in this field anyway, even though obviously we're not getting the ounce back. We're not going to start planting this field, but we can at least get it all cultivated, or get it started on the cultivating. And then when we come to it next week, if we do have to expand it a little bit further, we can do that with the plough, and then maybe just run around the edges with the cultivator or something like that. But yeah, that really is, I'm really going to have to go because my throat is starting to get quite painful now. So if you enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. I've got to actually flip the plough over to be able to fold it. But yeah, until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.